in this really rich moment of synthesis of like, how do we be the lover and the fighter? You know, like I actually just the other day, I was like, I'm going to make t-shirts that say I'm a lover and a fighter.
Yes.
Because I'm sick of that.
You are that.
I'm sick of that false dichotomy
Yeah.
that we can either be the nice guy whose heart is open and whose dick is soft,
Yeah.
or we can be the mean guy who's like rock hard and knows how to penetrate the world, but can't turn around and come home with an open heart.
Yeah.
Like, I want to crush and annihilate that dichotomy.
Welcome to the Peaceful Pop-Up Podcast. I'm Ravi, your host. Together, we'll slow down, breathe, and explore grounded fatherhood with greater peace and presence. I'm grateful you're here. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Peaceful Pop-Up Podcast. I'm your host, Ravi. Today I have another incredibly special guest with me, Ben Raya. Namaste, brother.
How you doing? It's so good to be here with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What are you feeling right now?
Right now, I'm feeling excitement in my body. I can feel like openness in my heart and like a really fiery passion for this topic. Like, it's been really on my mind lately. Obviously, I'm a father, you're a father in the literal sense, and that's been a part of my human journey for 15 years. But more and more it's coming to the surface in the archetypal layers and the metaphoric layers and the cultural layers of like, yes, this has shaped me personally for a long time, but just starting to look at like, how is our collective relationship to the father failing or fostering a healthy society and a healthy world?
Strong opener.
Just coming
Strong
right,
opener.
just going right into the collective unconscious out of the gate.
Yeah. Failing or fostering. I love that. We're going to revisit these.
Nice.
Part of the intro to the podcast is that I want my guests to get to know Ben really uniquely in this moment. I've had the privilege of working with you as a mentor, getting to be witness to you in circle of friends. But for the guests who don't know Ben Raya, I want to give them a chance to get to experience you in this moment. Okay?
Gotcha.
We're going to play a 3-part psychosomatic game.
Love it.
It's going to give them a taste of Ben.
All right, let's go.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know you're so down. So part 1, we're going to place our hand on your forehead. Okay, just as again, somatic reminder that I'm speaking from a really heady place. This is not the deep Ben. This is not the spiritual Ben. These are just the facts. So give us 20, 30 seconds, just a taste of who you are, what you do in the world, kind of the heady stuff that just gets us to a feeling of connection to who you be in the world.
Yeah. So I am, should I keep my hand here?
Yeah.
So I am Ben Raya. I live in Boulder, Colorado. I am the father of 2 amazing girls, Annika and Piper, 14, about to be 15, and 10. Yeah, we're getting into high school.
Wow.
Is a whole different thing, man. Yeah. And it's beautiful to witness. It's like beautiful to shepherd and steward that moment of her life.
Yeah.
And I am currently occupying myself studying, teaching tantra, spirituality, embodiment, relationship skills to men and to couples in private and group formats. And yeah, I'm like excitingly leaning into the future of the world. It's like such a wild time. And there's so much in motion. There's so much possibility, which is always equally promising and terrifying.
Yeah.
Like it could really just go anywhere from here.
Yeah. I feel that.
And I just I want to participate in that.
I feel you're here for it.
Yeah.
We can release the hand from the head. Thank you for the facts.
Yeah.
But even as such an embodied feeling human, it's so hard for you just to dwell in the facts.
It is.
The excitement, the passion, like, it just comes through.
Yeah.
Even as you put your hand up here, your other hand immediately went here.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. You also said, you said leaning, but you said leading. You meant to say leaning, but actually you said leading. And I think that was also no accident, because you are leading a spiritual, tantric, embodied movement of men and couples and people that are reclaiming something that has been
and that's like actually a really fun slip up, and I'm glad you called that out, because somatically there's not a difference to me. It's like I'm stationary, I'm perfectly in my center, and then it's like if I want to lead, I need to move towards something. If I need to move towards something, I need to lean in that direction. So leaning and leading somatically for me are really like the same, of like my center is now in motion towards something.
So good. I'm excited for where this is going.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
we honored the head, then we dropped to the heart space, and this will be effortless for you. Or maybe not, who knows?
It took 15 years, but now it's easy.
Right? So we'll take another bit of time and just fill in the blank. I feel, and give us a glimpse into your feeling world.
I feel proud of how easily breath moves in and out of my body. And I feel proud of that I even have access to emotion and to feeling. I feel passionate about sharing this with men, with the world. I feel passionate about helping men understand that it's safe to feel, that it's not some like internal housekeeping project that we just need to go feel some stuff and then we can get back to real life, but actually like for feeling to be part of real life, that actually like, there's layers of challenge, there's layers of like, oh shit, there's my trauma, there's my mom stuff, there's my dad stuff, there's that thing I never took time to feel from the past. But actually like the more you get through it, the more it's like, wow, this actually massively enriches my experience of life, my experience of my partnership, my experience of my children, my ability to be there for them in ways that they really need me to be there. It's not just like it's not just for the sake of self-development. It's actually like, wow, there's some really shitty, bumpy parts of coming home to the heart, and also like wanting to model with you and to the world for men that the place you arrive to is profoundly better than not being here in the heart.
Just sit here and cry for a while. This is I feel that deeply. Believe it or not, there's a third component to our game. Okay. We honored the head, we dropped into the heart space, the feelings, and then you naturally go there, but at your hara, the core of your being, the energetic primal center. What does Ben want for himself, for his family, for humanity? And I want, fill in the blank.
I want power to exist in the world in ways that people are grateful for. Like there's all the examples we need of power gone wrong. And like when I drop down here into my body, into my hara, when I drop a little lower into just my manhood, my cock and my balls, and my capacity to penetrate, my capacity to like really embody power, like I can feel that it just wants to move forward through the world. And I want more capacity in myself to do that in ways that are skillful, attuned, productive, life enriching. and also like really want the massive collective healing that needs to happen, understandably, for people to even feel safe around that kind of energy, because it's caused so much harm. It's like the best and the worst thing that we have to bring to the world as men.
Big breath for that. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for bringing in the genitals and just the penetrative energy that we as men certainly have, that we as fathers have clearly exercised in some way, whether intentionally or not.
Yeah.
Something you said in the very beginning, that right now the collective is either, as men, we are either fostering or failing our relationship with power in the collective.
Yeah.
Could you speak to what that means to you, to either foster or to be failing the collective?
I think, just speaking from a men lens, or a masculine lens, or whatever we want to call that, I think that, and this is really the centerpiece of all the work I do internally and externally with the masculine, is we're kind of in this really rich and difficult moment of synthesis. What, speaking from a Hegelian dialectic, there's the thesis, the antithesis, and then the synthesis. And from a putting that onto masculinity, there's been the classic archetype of men, which are out there in the world doing stuff, warrior mode, worker mode, get shit done mode, knows how to go out there and like put on the armor, put on the muscle, pick up the sword, and cut, attack, produce, generate. It's very sharp. But then you take that energy back into the home and you just annihilate. Like, I can just annihilate my kids like a lightning bolt if I come home from the world and haven't shifted out of that energy. And so it hurt a lot of people. It hurt women, it hurt children, it hurt society, that men didn't know how to get out of that really sharp, aggressive energy. So then there's the antithesis, the antithesis, where it's like, oh, power's bad. Being sharp is bad. Being aggressive is bad. All of these things, just, no, for the longest time, I think, a lot of the initial criticisms about quote unquote toxic masculinity were trying to point at something that was indeed a problem, but pointing in it in a way that threw the baby out with the bathwater, and pointing at it in a way that didn't actually give anyone any answers of what they should try and be. Just don't be this, don't be this, don't be that way, don't be that way, don't be that guy. And I see and I relate to this in my own story, this just feeling like absolutely lost, of like, all right, I'm trying really hard to be a good guy. I'm trying to be nice. I threw away the sword, threw away the armor, I threw away the aggression and the power, and I'm home, I'm here, my heart is open, I'm present with my kids. And then the reason, in my opinion, we're seeing this really big counterswing or backlash back to traditional masculinity, it's because you can't, nature abhors a vacuum. You can't take one thing off the table and not give an example of what it is we're actually aiming at. And you can't just rob men of their power to create, to penetrate, to make things happen, and then expect them to just sit around powerless and be like, cool, I'm here with my kids. My heart's open. I can feel my emotions. I can breathe into my tissue, and I can't, where'd the power go? Where'd my ability to go out there and, crush the game in business so that my kids can have a good life? Where'd my ability to go out there and engage with life and community to make sure that my family's safe? Where'd that go? And so a lot of people, having not been given an option for an integrated version of masculinity, are understandably going back to the old thing. And so I think we're in this really rich moment of synthesis of like, how do we be the lover and the fighter? You know, like I actually just the other day, I was like, I'm going to make t-shirts that say I'm a lover and a fighter.
Yes.
Because I'm sick of that.
You are that.
I'm sick of that false dichotomy
Yeah.
that we can either be the nice guy whose heart is open and whose dick is soft,
Yeah.
or we can be the mean guy who's like rock hard and knows how to penetrate the world, but can't turn around and come home with an open heart.
Yeah.
Like, I want to crush and annihilate that dichotomy.
Mm.
and start to be a torchbearer for a version of masculinity where we get to be both and we know how to shift between them.
The mic is attached, but if I could drop it, I would. What I'm hearing is really just a deep reverence for both sides of the lover and the fighter.
Yeah.
There can't be this, we can't totally decapitate ourselves from like our nature to be powerful beings out in the world.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, we have to bring that back into our homes to soften enough, but not to be one or the other. It's a yes, it's a both and.
Yeah.
The lover and the fighter. I love the work you do in the world, taking people through the fundamentals of Tantra, introducing both the spiritual principles within that container, but also from a very embodied place. Mm-hmm. I know you're just coming out of a weekend where
Mm-hmm.
you're supporting that line of work. What are you picking up from? What's in the field? What are men going through in their bodies and their ability to be in spaces like this?
I think a lot of what I detect in the field is fear. And it goes back, and maybe this is just the lens I'm looking through, but it goes back to what I just said. Is I think there's a growing awareness in the masculine unconscious, or it's moving up to the conscious, that men are aware of the game we've been playing isn't working. The game we were playing before that game isn't working or didn't work.
Yeah.
And what are we supposed to be doing? Like, I feel that fear of like, you know, obviously I work with couples, I work with men. I also like, I work in a lot of spaces. Next week, I'll be going to Portugal to assist Lorinda's teacher, another Tantra teacher, in an 8-day retreat. And so she's a really powerful woman, and she draws a lot of women into her field. So I also hear a lot from women of what they're lacking, what they're missing, what they're craving. And that message is starting to penetrate into the masculine ears. And again, this is a rich moment, and it's scary because it's like, you know, that we can't do that any longer. We can't block our ears any longer. We can't block our hearts any longer. And so I think for men, it's scary of like, there's this, you know, coming to God moment of like, shit, we're failing. Like, shit, we're not delivering what our wives, our girlfriends, our mothers, our daughters need from us. Yeah. And that's a really scary thing to admit at all, but even scarier when you don't know
what to do,
what the solution is.
Yeah. And we love knowing what to
and
do.
We love knowing.
Fixing.
We're like, yeah, it's like, I'm fine if someone's like, hey, what you're doing isn't working. Here's the thing that will work. I'm like, all right, I can adjust to that.
Yeah.
But when we're kind of in this nexus point or in this void space where it's like before in that like alchemical process of thesis and antithesis melting into the third thing, the synthesis, there's that melting, there's that void, there's that alchemy. And I feel like the masculine unconscious, the masculine collective is like really in that alchemical fire right now of like becoming something that I think quite literally on the planet has not existed yet. Not on a large scale anyways. There have always been people who have found it and embodied it, but it has never been any part of the dominant human experience. And I think there's incredible possibility right now if we can ignite the right fire. And if we can shine the right light to be like, hey, there is this thing we can do, and it is what's needed, and it will work, and it will change the world. And it's fucking hard.
Pause. It's fucking hard. What are the energetics of the synthesis? So you painted a really clear picture of the thesis, the antithesis. What is the synthesis? What does it look and feel like?
It feels like a fire in my heart. It feels like, even just talking about this, I can feel like my guts activating. I can feel this fire in my belly that's like moving up into my heart. And it's a connection, I think, whether this is metaphoric or somatic, I don't know, but it's a connection of cock to heart. That in one direction, the way I penetrate the world in all forms, whether it's lovemaking, business development, leadership, fathering, the way I engage with that masculine penetrative current is motivated by a connection to my heart. It's motivated to a relationality with the world around me, not just how I want to move, not just what I want to get. And moving in the other direction, it's actually like bringing that raw power like up into the heart.
I love that.
And like, I think for the masculine to understand that, you know, there's this like soft romantic version of love that's sweet and flowery and feminine and, you know, all the stuff we've been told love is. But it's like we've actually divorced love from power. And you know, there's that Jimi Hendrix quote about the world will change, something about when we stop believing in the love of power and start believing in the power of love. But even then, like, that tends to get co-opted into love as this like sweet little soft thing. And like, I think for, at least for men, or like what I feel a need for in my body is to actually like feel the like bonfire of my heart. That's like this powerful force, not this like sweet little soft thing.
Breathe that in. I love the visual too. I think so much of, especially for me and maybe for men out there, the journey of just being present and in tune with my emotional self is that journey from the head and this mind that just takes me out of the present moment, mind down into heart. Okay, now I can be a little bit more with my emotion. I can be present to sensation, be more loving. But I think what you're alluding to and what you've demonstrated is that journey further down into our cock, and then from there back up into the heart. That's the synthesis that probably not many are making that connection. I think cock to brain of like, maybe there's some connection there. But cock to heart, that feels like a uniquely Ben Raya
I hope
transmission.
Not. But thank you.
And you are uniquely positioned to be a leader in that space. You are leading in that space. What you use the word and the metaphor of the fire a lot. If you could tune in, let's actually laser into on dads. Dads in the collective who are listening, who are like, well, I'm going to work, doing the thing. I'm trying to like be present at home. That's about the extent of where I'm at. What needs to burn away and what needs to be ignited? Again, looking for kind of a practical, like prescriptive, like do this, burn this away and ignite more of this. If you want to feel a more embodied activation to your purpose, your power, to all the things that we're talking about in this quality of synthesis.
What needs to burn away?
It can be really direct too, like stop fucking doing X.
I think I'm going to go in reverse order because that's what my mind is doing right now. So I'm just going to do that. What needs to ignite? And again, this is the coming back to the heart, is the love for what you're in service to. And from a fatherhood perspective, that's my children, their mother, my partner, which for me are two different people. I'm separated from their mother, but we still have a really beautiful, co-creative, supportive relationship. And I will always be in service to her, even though we're not married, because she's the mother of my children, because she's someone I care about. And igniting the love for those things. And I think, again, in the masculine, especially on the front side of a lot of this work, emotion feels like a burden. Emotion feels like this like heavy thing that we have to drag around because we're resisting it. And resistance takes effort. When you actually just let it burn, then it's fuel. Then it's like, oh, that's the reason I go to work. That's the reason I work on myself. Like, my love for them is what fires me up to be a better me, to be a better dad, to be a better provider, to be a better protector, to be a better lover of them in all the ways that they need to be loved. And so when that fire ignites, what needs to burn away? I mean, quite simply, is just everything that's not that. But to be a little more specific, to get really, really, I don't want to say shrewd, really locked in on where am I spending my energy in ways that are wasteful. Like, I think in the masculine, that's like energetic efficiency. And you could go down a dozen different rabbit holes of what that looks like in practicality, but just looking like, wow, if my heart burns in service to these people and people who aren't fathers, like what is it you're in service to? I think that's the number one thing missing in the masculine is what is the worthy cause, whether it's family or whatever else. What is the worthy cause that your heart burns for? Because that becomes fuel. And when that becomes fuel, it's this clarifying fire of like, wow, where am I spending my energy in ways that don't serve this thing that I say is my mission?
I feel that. To be on purpose. I wrote a book on peace and purpose before I became a father. And I think a term that I think I created, but at least I talk about it in the book. It's probably not the first time someone said it. But we've heard of mindfulness, kind of moment to moment, non-judgmental ways of moving through the world. Purposefulness. If really everything I am doing is on purpose, intentional. And I think it's hard to come by. We're not taught that in school. We're not shown that by our elders or our leaders in our collective. And so, that's a great inquiry. I think a lot of guests here on the show talk about energy, whether it's going through your calendar and doing an energy audit and really getting clear, like, okay, look how I'm spending my time. What is bringing me energy? What is taking my energy? What's neutral and could probably just burn away? But I think, that's the invitation. We'll take a brief pause just to reflect it back to whoever's listening and feeling that fiery activation. But to get clear of like, am I living on purpose? Do I know what my mission is? Have I clarified it and claimed it? And if not, that's a great starting point for the journey. Start to orient towards a more purposeful way of being. What would you say to the person who's thinking, great, purpose, clarity, loving my family, that's not going to pay my bills. But just that journey of like occupational purpose versus greater purpose. How do you relate to that concept?
That's a tough one. I think that's one of like the big splits, maybe for everybody, but for me, for my projection of what a lot of men are going through is, and there's like, it almost seems like a trap sometimes, this idea that there's some like great thing I'm supposed to go do in the world that's more important than serving my family. And also, I think everybody has something that burns most authentically true.
Yeah.
Of, you know, if it was just me and my energy and my light, where's it burning? Where's it going? And reconciling those two things, I think, is the great dharma of being a father.
Yeah.
Because if you completely collapse into the one of like, oh, I'm just supposed to fall on my sword and serve my family and work this job that I hate, that drains me, and then I come home miserable and out of energy, like, is that actually serving my kids? If I'm always kind of out of energy and burned out. Yeah. Yes.
And I'm guilty of doing this often, is like just assuming that everybody hates their job.
Yeah.
Let's play the card where dad likes his job.
Great.
He has a good work-life balance, making great money, is able to come home and is like relatively present with his family. And this is where I say relatively. So he's okay with the job and family. He's okay with being around, but there isn't a juice. There isn't a fire, right? His wife's not like gazing into his eyes like, oh, I'm so inspired by you. And his kids are like playing with him, but there's just like, maybe there's not a depth of playfulness and presence and essence to his being. What's the prescription? What's the medicine for that version of man? Or is that okay? If we had more of that, then we're in a better place, but still not in a fully expressed, healthy, masculine.
I think that's definitely a pretty good place to be in.
Right?
And a lot of people would be jealous of that.
Yeah.
A lot of people from both sides of the fulfilling your great purpose, but not fulfilling the fatherhood, or fulfilling the fatherhood but feeling no purpose. I think like that, and I don't want to like hang the fruit too low and say that like healthy kind of lukewarm balance is like the thing we should aim for, but it sounds like an okay place to be.
Sure.
Right? There's like a lot of nobility to me in that.
Yeah. Of
being like, I'm just this simple person who serves my job, serves my family, and enjoys life. And a lot of people stay there for a while. And I think that's okay. And then at some point, it's like a switch flips.
Yeah.
Whether it's from a certain, like the lingering dissatisfaction, or, you know, from a soul evolution standpoint, you know, there's this moment where you stop becoming essentially an automaton and something uniquely brilliant that wants to shine through your body starts to awaken. And that's a tough moment, because you're like, oh, but I've got this job and it's pretty great, and I've got this family and it's pretty great, and everything's kind of working, but it's like the pilot light in the furnace is trying to warm the whole house.
Yeah.
You know, instead of having like an actual fire.
Yeah.
And so, that's such a hard one to navigate. And I think a lot of people are there right now. And the tendency for people is to just kind of annihilate their life.
Yeah.
They're like, oh no, this isn't it.
Burn
it all to the ground. Yeah. I need to go find myself.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people find is that they lost a lot of things they really cared about and didn't find something that's more worth having than that.
Yeah.
And so I think, you know, one of the best and worst qualities of the masculine is restraint. It can be very self-confining. It can also be that thing that's like, okay, wow, there's this really authentic part of me that wants to come alive, maybe for the first time in my ancestral lineage.
Yeah.
And we're going to exercise temperance. We're going to understand this is a 5-year project, a 10-year project, a 20-year project, not a burn everything to the ground and try to find it tomorrow project. And I think that's like, if there was more space for men to find themselves with temperance, I think it would really serve the world. Because purely from the outside in perspective of the world of, just fulfill your duty, and culture wants you to do this, and government wants you to do this, and whatever your religion or worldview is wants you to do this, and there isn't that healthy cultivation of self, then it does become like this really loaded gun that's waiting to go off. But the more there's spaces, ideally for men to be finding themselves all along the way, or to really have not lost it in the first place, but also more frameworks. This is where brotherhood work, I think, is really important, because we can help ground each other's process of like, hey man, Ravi, I see that there's this thing that's just like burning in the depths of your heart. And I want to like reflect back to you that I know you love your family, and I know that's important to you. And let's like hold that tension together and let it evolve rather than just shatter one thing and try to create something else.
Brilliant. Yeah, I love that reflection, that men's work, ongoing support and community of brotherhood is that medicine. I think in isolation, in a vacuum, it's really easy in the mind to be like, oh, I'm just going to burn it all away. I'm going to leave my family. I'm going to go find a girlfriend or fly to Costa Rica and not come back, and I'll find myself there. And I love this really slower burning temperance that you alluded to. And that's been my journey as well. I think we worked together a year ago. And I'm still integrating elements from that container. Around the same time, I went to Spain and did a deep journey with a group of men. And we've been in an ongoing container of accountability and connection for a year since then.
Wow.
And in many ways, a year in, and we're just getting to this like really potent activation point. And so, similarly, to get that reflection weekly of like the accountability of like, wow, you're doing the podcast and like stepping forward in this whole different way. And it's a long journey that requires that endurance and the nourishment along the way, the fuel to be an endurance athlete of the long game. And I think it's so much harder to do alone. And that's what most men, most dads especially, are doing life very alone. I was even, a quick personal story, I went to the farmer's market this past weekend to connect with dads and to share the podcast and events I'm hosting in person. And overwhelmingly, they were like, I would love to be involved in anything. I have nothing. Or their wives were sitting there like, he has no friends. They're very blunt too. They're just like, he doesn't have any friends. He goes to work, he comes home, he gets like 5 minutes to himself once in a while, and that's it. Please, he needs bros. He needs people like yourself that are going to just be there. So again, just like gratitude to using your power to create spaces for men's groups, for tantra containers, for all the sacred work that you're embodying.
And I love doing all that, and I love what you're doing, just like everything you just spoke to. And it's something that's been really on my own mind to create more of too, is like, the esoteric initiations are valuable, and the somatic work and the embodiment work is important, and the deep coming back to the heart, like all the work is great, and it's necessary. And like, we just need to go hang out and throw a ball.
Totally. Yes.
Or we just need to go, like, there's this part of me that's almost really coming full circle to a lot of stuff I really judged of like, wow, I can see that there's something important about sitting around a TV and watching a football game. And maybe that's not the best expression of what's being nurtured there in that space, but it's actually really crucial to just like come together and be shoulder to shoulder and pay attention to something. Put all our attention in a shared direction, and we're not processing anything. We're not getting to know each other. There's nothing deep going on.
Yeah.
Like I spent 5 years working as a lumberjack, you know that, and
chopping wood.
Many initiations happened in that field, but one of them was actually like understanding like, none of these people are my best friend.
Yeah.
None of them are someone that I would necessarily go out of my way to hang out with. None of our conversations are deep. Like, having worked with these people for a year, I don't necessarily like know them in their essence. And you know, having come from the world of yoga and meditation and authentic relating, and like, I don't want small talk, deep conversations only. And that was me for like a decade.
Yeah.
But when I was there in that world, I was like, wow, there's actually something really sweet and really crucial of just like being here on the surface together and being like, no, we're not best friends.
Yeah.
No, you're not my chosen family or my star tribe or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't even need you to know the depths of me, and I don't need to know the depths of you. There's actually something really beautiful about just being on the surface together and being like, we're here, we're working, we're chucking logs around.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even like you, but I would risk my life for you.
Right.
And this like level of brotherhood that's different than the deep work almost seems like the thing that's the most missing.
Yeah. I was selling cars for the last 2 years. There's 40 of us on the sales team. 36 are men.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you just described is the quality of the relationships. Like, we're there in the flesh doing our thing.
Yeah.
There's a camaraderie and a brotherhood that develops just out of that proximity and that shared occupational experience, but not necessarily a need to go any deeper than that, you know. And a lot of them actually were very social with each other. Just a lot of them are younger or single, but when I'm there just to work and to do my thing, and then I'm going home to my family, and that's the number one thing. But something really beautiful about the surface level. Let's just be here. Which I think is, and that's what I liked about that job too, is I was like out in the world with people in like brotherhood every day. And that gave me something.
And it's fascinating that's really missing from the brotherhood, that surface layer of just being together. And from the perspective of the lot of work I do, that's also the thing that women are missing most from their partners. It's like, I don't need you to plunge the depths of my souls, but they may also want that. I don't need you to fix my problems. They're like, I actually just want you to just be here.
Let's just hang out.
That's like all my daughters want from me.
Yeah.
They don't need the deep stuff. They don't need the self-work. They want me to just be at their volleyball game. Just 100% surface level presence. I'm physically here and I'm with you and I'm paying attention to what's going on in your world. Like, that's it. That's what the world is starving for from men.
Wow. Yeah, let's go deeper on that.
Yeah.
Go deeper. We have to go deeper on it. No, but that's I think a good synthesis point of, you know, who you were 15 years ago when you became a father.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, you've been a lumberjack, a producer, half a dozen different things.
A lot of things.
Right? Now you're a embodied sacred sexuality coach and facilitator. Okay, so what is this version of your being bringing to your family, bringing to your 2 daughters? What is the quality of you as a father now?
I think it really just boils down to a steadiness of presence. It's like this level of presence that, whether it's about teaching someone skills in the bedroom, and there's often a saying in this work, especially with men, of like, how you perform in the bedroom is how you perform in the boardroom. And understand it. And while there's like techniques and fancy moves and like energetic self-mastery and all of these things, like the simplest thing and often the hardest to cultivate is like, what is it like? What would it be like for the woman you're with to at no point during the sake of whatever sexual activity or relational activity, all the different things that are going on, but what would it be like for them to never feel any break in presence? Like whatever we're doing, I'm just right here.
Yeah.
And it feels disastrous to like pull parallels between like sacred sexuality work and like, parenting children, but it's the same damn skill.
Yeah.
Like it's a completely different scenario. It's a completely different, obviously everything else about it is different, but that's what they want.
Yeah.
Like my older ones being very teenager lately.
Wow.
Just hot and cold, wants my attention, wants me to go away. Like literally told me last night not to look at her.
Get your piercing gaze away from me.
But even then, because presence doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm staring at you. But for her to be able to express that kind of energy and for me to not go away, just be like, cool, you're feeling that way right now. I'm not crossing your boundary to try and make connection happen, but I'm not like, oh, you've hurt my feelings, or now I'm going to go in the other room and sulk, or now I'm like, you pushed away my connection, so now my connection's not available. To just be like, cool, I'm still right here.
Yeah.
Like
for
her to get to go through all the waves of being a teenage kid, and to have my availability of presence to just be this steady thing that's there.
Yeah.
Is it feels like new for me. I'm like, oh wow. I'm like, oh, this is some next level parenting shit, to just be like, and same with partnership, every partnership's going to have its ins and outs, ups and downs, sweet moments, sour moments. And physically there may be a moving apart and a coming back together, but it's like that energetic presence of like, hey, even when we're fighting, even when I can't stand you, you can feel somatically or energetically that I haven't left you, that I haven't left us. I'm still right here.
Yeah. Breath for that. One of my greatest accomplishments and just proudest reflections that I received from my partner and the wife of the mother of my two children is, she said recently, Ravi, even when you're gone from the house for a day or a half a day or overnight, if you're doing something, we still really feel your steady presence. Your energy is still so here with us. And I was so moved by that. Like, wow, that really just means the world. And it takes a lot of effort, a lot of communication, a lot of all the little moments and ways that I transition with reverence and intention to get to that point. But when she reflected that back, I was like, wow, that really hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's, we don't need to go into the esoteric rabbit holes, but I am of the belief that heart connection is not really bound by space and time, and I'm not interested.
Field of coherence.
Yeah, I'm not, and I don't need to have an explanation for why or how that is.
Yeah.
But just like to that point, like when we're able to nurture and stabilize heart connection with someone, you can be on the other side of the planet.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, but I still feel you here with me.
Yeah.
And the opposite of that, which is what's causing a lot of women to wither, and why a lot of men are with a cold version of their partner, is because you can be sitting right next to somebody and your heart's shut and they feel alone. And it's that energy of actually allowing the armor to come off the heart and to come into like really true intimacy, emotional, somatic intimacy, not just loving actions or loving events, but like real intimacy is the fire that burns and you can feel the heat from anywhere.
Yeah.
They can feel the heat of your love when you're at work, because that's an expression of your love. And I think for a lot of men, that's the secret to having the version of the partner they wish they had. As often, you know, for anyone in relationship, when we're not happy with what we're getting, we turn towards them. You should be more like this, blah, blah, blah. Here's all my projections. Go try and fix them for me. Yeah. Instead of like, oh, I've gone cold. Yeah. Oh, I've shut my heart. Of course you're pulling away. Of course your body is not open in the ways that I want it open. When I can be again, not the little pilot light in the heater, but the actual flame that heats the whole house, and my open heart can warm my partner, warm my relationship, light the house, all of these things, then all of a sudden you find yourself getting everything you ever dreamed of from your partner without having to ask them to change.
That metaphor, the pilot light and the furnace, that just keeps burning, keeps giving. Yeah. That's really rich. I'm hosting an event this Sunday, well after this podcast will have aired, but Fathers on Fire. And it's the sauna, the cold plunge, with a bit of connection and embodiment before that.
Love that.
But I think that's really what I'm trying to do, is stoke the fire.
Yeah.
We'll start to put a bow on this. I think we've traversed a lot of really rich terrain. And any tools or tips that are really practical for the dad listening who's like, fuck, how do I get my pilot light to burn a little brighter?
I think it's an act of bravery. Like, for one, you have to want it to burn. And I think that often there's this kind of somatic inner battle that's going on of like, oh, I really want to feel my passion. And then you're like, oh, but not like this. Whoa, that was a lot. Turn it back down. And because, you know, to use a somatic internal metaphor, when you like often like the guts or the solar plexus is like the realm of fire and desire and heat and all of this stuff, and then we start to activate that, and then it starts to thaw the heart, and we're just like, oh shit.
Yeah,
because if I thaw my heart, I have to feel all those things I don't want to feel.
Yeah.
And so it's an act of bravery. It's an act that I think requires initiation, guidance, leadership, to be able to move through that process of, I really want to be all the way on fire, and there's no way I can do. You can't keep pieces out of the fire.
Yeah, you
have to let it all burn. And so I guess just do men's work. Just do men's work.
Yeah.
That's it. I wouldn't, the only reason I'm doing men's work is because I wouldn't be here without men's work.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's a great shirt too.
It's the thing that saved me. It's the thing. Other men who are further along this journey than I am, who can say, yeah, you're on fire right now and it's terrifying and all your shit's coming up. Here's some tools.
Yeah.
Mostly just breathe. Like, become conscious of the breath, become conscious of how you spend your energy, what's depleting it, what's enriching it, what it's in service to, what it's not in service to. Yeah.
You heard it here. Just do men's work.
Literally just do men's work.
And along the way, breathe life and spaciousness into the heart.
And seek out men who have the life you want. Seek out men with healthy relationships. Seek out men who you're like, wow, they're a great dad. Seek out men who are even just physically embodying the kind of body you have, and just say, what is it you're doing? And I think for men, that's really hard. We all want to be top dog. We don't want to admit that we don't know stuff. And so we just stay stuck because it's like, oh, I don't want to be in a room with people who are more fit than I am, or I don't want to be in a room with people who are making more money with me. And you have to You have to kill that version of your ego.
Yeah.
But there's versions of ego that can be helpful in serving you, but that version has to die.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you're like, I want to be in rooms where everybody is more fit than I am. I want to be in rooms with people who are killing it in business more than I am, because I want to know what they know. Yeah. I'm ready to show up humble. That's the thing, is like the first half of the path is just managing to get humble. Yeah. And then you can start learning.
Yeah. Oof. There's a lot of wisdom in that. If something in that transmission struck a chord, press pause, hit rewind about 90 seconds and just listen to that on repeat. That's the gold. Yeah, for sure. I showed up to this retreat in Spain a year ago. I think there was like 15 people, we'll say. I felt so out of my element. Everyone was from different parts of Europe. They had these brilliant accents, physical stature that I felt just like dwarfed by. 6-7 figure entrepreneurs. I'm like, oh shit, I'm really fucking intimidated right now. Yeah. But within an hour, a lot of that dissolved. And over the next 4, 5, 6 days, we became best friends, or like just such a depth of mutual respect and reverence for each other's journeys. And then a year later, I'm engaging with them on a weekly basis. And like we're just kindred spirits. And the leader of that group is in that place right now of like, how can I get myself into spaces where I'm uncomfortable? Yeah. So really cool that you just shared that so eloquently.
Yeah. I had a retreat experience also in Spain. Yeah. Maybe at the same yurt in the mountains. I don't know. But really similar. There was this one guy there from Northern Europe, amazing hair, amazing accent, like just like stacked with muscle. Yeah. Every girl in the space was just like drooling over this guy. He's like rich as hell. And I spent the first half of this 8-day retreat just like hating this guy. Wow. And just like projecting he's got such a big ego or blah, blah. Like, and then at some point I was like, all that's doing is locking me out of where he's at. Yeah. And so the second 4 days, the back half of the retreat became this really conscious practice of, can I just sit with how much I want what he has? And can I allow that to be inspiration? Can I allow that to actually open up the doors of possibility of what can happen? Because if I just judge that and push it away because it's uncomfortable to be with, now it's inaccessible to me. Yeah. But if I can actually stay in that awkward, uncomfortable, humbling tension of like, wow, actually, I really want that. And that's scary to admit when I don't know the path there yet. Yeah. But if I actually get close to people like this, they're probably willing to tell me what it is I'm not doing that they're doing.
And can you give us a little bit of a cliffhanger? The first 4 days, you're like, fuck that guy. The next 4 days, you're like, all right, I'm going to embrace that I want to be that guy. Yeah. Do you guys come to a meeting at the end where now you're best?
We're not besties, but we're totally in contact. And I like, we comment on each other's stories and support each other. I think there's another convergence that's yet to happen. Yeah. But yeah, like just in my own personal process, it was really powerful to shift into, I actually am jealous. Yeah. I want what he has. Yeah. I feel inadequate because I don't know how to do that yet.
Now that's what I think what you're illuminating here too is so important, because it's one thing to like, we'll just use the example of scrolling social media. Wow, Andrew Tate, so strong, so rich, so like, just like annihilating, this other figure that's, easy to scroll and just compare ourselves to all the things that we either have or don't have. I think what's essential about men's work is that you're engaging in it. Yeah. You are living it. You are being it. You're going through those peaks and valleys and the convergence points of understanding the layers of yourself in a much more tangible way than in the fleeting way of just scrolling it away.
Yeah. Yeah. And you get to, with social media, for the most part, you only see everybody's wins. Yeah. You only see their success. You don't see the parts of their life that might suck, and you don't see what it took for them to actually have what they have.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in real community and brotherhood, like I can look up to you and also get to witness like, wow, that guy's working really hard. And that's the part that people don't see.
Yeah.
Or wow, even though I admire this part of their life, there's this part of their life that actually I don't want that.
Yeah.
And maybe those two things are connected. Maybe they're not connected. But I think just being able to surround yourself with elders, with mentors, with people who inspire you, and to get into that energy of being a creator, of creating your own life. Because when you believe in your own limitation, then anybody who's above and beyond that is going to bother you. When you believe in your capacity to create change, to change yourself and change the circumstances of your life, then people who have what you want become inspiration.
Breathe that in.
So seek out people who have what you want and be humble enough to learn.
Yeah. Well, Ben, you are an inspiration. I've learned a lot from you, from working with you, from sitting with you, from witnessing your journey from afar. So grateful for your time and your presence fiercely. If people are inspired to learn more about you, to potentially work together, to go deeper, what's a good way to find Ben Raya?
The best way to find Ben Raya is probably just on Instagram, which is It's Ben Raya.
Yeah.
The business I have with my partner, Lorinda, is called AuthenticEssence.co if you want the website. And that's more focused on tantra work, healing and awakening work, couples work, relationship work. My men's work does not have a website yet, but I'm working on it.
Always.
But just find me.
Yeah. Ben is humbly a very vertically gifted man. So if you're just like around and you look up, you might find Ben Raya.
I'm easy to find.
That's right.
In a crowd.
Ben, anything that we didn't cover that's on your heart and needs to come through?
I'm just loving this conversation, the theme of this podcast. When I saw you post whatever the first thing I saw, I was like, I love this. I need to be on it. I want to be on it. I'm glad this is happening, and I'm glad you're doing it. And I just want to celebrate you for engaging in what I might say is the most important topic. Because this will be my closing thought, is a lot of men's work at the moment, at least in kind of the spiritual circles within which I find myself, is still pretty abstracted from fatherhood and family. It's still a very individual thing. About me finding myself, me finding my power, and those are important layers of what needs to happen. But it really needs to be recontextualized into how does this fit within the concept of family, and within the concept of fatherhood, within the concept of community. Because we're not doing the lone wolf thing anymore. It doesn't work. It's not going to work. It probably didn't ever really work. And so I'm really glad that you're leading this conversation forwards of men's work within the context of family and fatherhood.
Receiving that really fully. It's humbling me a lot. It's testing me. And I also wholeheartedly agree that it's kind of everything. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, for tuning in, for sharing your precious attention and time with us. I hope you found tremendous meaning out of this episode. Please connect with Ben. Let me know in the comments what landed for you. And we'll see you next time on the Peaceful Papa Podcast.
Thanks, brother.
Yes. So good.
You've been listening to the Peaceful Papa Podcast. May the wisdom you found here ripple into your being, your family, your community, and the world at large. I look forward to being with you again soon. See you on the next episode.